So I'm talking about being among people, and I have to be honest. Sometimes when I say that, people ask me, Dennis, what do you really mean being among people? I mean, what does it mean being among people and not doing outreach? Well, let me explain. Let me tell you a story. A number of years ago, I was sitting in the study of a pastor friend of mine. He's a pastor on the east coast of America, and he's actually a cowboy pastor. So he wears this big hat, and it's great. His office, there's his desk and a huge saddle, and then there's me sitting kind of between the saddle and him, looking at him, kind of thing. And we were talking. He leant across his desk and he said to me, he said, Dennis, he said, I want you to help me. He said, how do I reach out to my community? And I looked at him and I could see behind him was a wall, and on this wall was a map. And this map was of the local community where the church was placed. And I looked at it and I could see that there was just this part of the town copied. And in the middle of it was this huge circle around a little cross, which was the church. And I looked at the map and I said, Bubba, let's start with that map. And so we looked at it. I said, I know for a fact that you haven't photocopied the whole of this community, just a part of it. And you photocopied just enough for the church to be in the middle. But if you had it all, the church would actually be over on one edge. It wouldn't be in the middle at all. I said, and also you've put this huge circle around the church, this huge kind of, it looks really thick, and that makes it look a really big church. It looks like there's this huge church right at the centre of the community. The truth is, it's quite small and it's on the edge. Most people don't even really know that it's here. So if you're going to reach this community, it's not going to be about getting all those people to come into this place and do our thing. I said, Bubba, do you have a pen? He said, yeah. And then he looked at me, and before he gave me the pen, he said, you're supposed to be helping me here. And I said, well, I know that, but just bear with me. Can I have the pen? He said, yeah. So he gave me the pen, and I started saying to him, I said, Bubba, I said, the people in the church, where do they live? And he began to tell me all the places where the people that came to his church lived. And as he told me where they lived, I'd put a little cross on the map, and it would individuals or families where they lived. I'd just put a little cross on the map, and lots of the people didn't live in the area where the map was. They lived in the wider community, so I started putting little crosses on the board as well, all around it. And after about 10 or 15 minutes of this, there were lots of these crosses all over the place. And I said to him, I said, Bubba, let's just take a step back and look at this. So we looked at it. And I said, if you imagine that the church is not just that building that you want people to come to gather, but rather you imagine the church is all the people that are part of it scattered, because most of the people that come to this church, in fact all of them, spend far more of their time not here than they do here. In the streets where they live, in the places where they go to work, that's where they are most of the time. If you want to reach this community, rather than expecting all of the people that never go to church to suddenly start coming to church, what you need to do is to equip, help, encourage and support those people that are Christians, that are part of the church, to know how to make a difference, to know how to share their faith in Jesus with people who they're among every day of their lives. And he thanked me, and to be honest with you, he began to do just that. I don't want to leave that thought with you. You see, if we're going to reach people, if we really are going to help the lost to come to know the glorious, wonderful, fantastic news that Jesus gave his life for them even though they don't deserve it, then it's not about getting them into our place. It's about recognising that they are the people that we're among.